What a beautiful message that is, to know that there's always more than one road to get us where we're going. And so this morning, we continue with our series for the year, and this is going to be a little test to see who's been paying attention. What is our global theme for 2021? Timeless wisdom, evolutionary vision. This is what we're reviewing this year, what we're doing this year. So our theme for this month is pulled by vision. And this morning we're exploring this idea and the question, is your commitment greater than your resistance? Is your commitment greater than your resistance? Last week we established our July context for being pulled by vision as an invitation to revisit our spiritual principles, using them as a launching pad for a fuller expression of the vision by allowing ourselves to be pulled forward by the vision. We're pulled forward by the vision. When we vision, we refine or get clearer and we recommit to the vision. We explore more deeply how living a through-me consciousness advances us towards a more lived experience of freedom. And this is our ultimate goal, to have this experience of freedom. And this leads into our topic today: is your commitment greater than your resistance? And I offer a couple of examples that we may look at, recognizing that we examine this from both a personal perspective and from an organizational perspective. And so some other questions that are embedded within this overarching question is, where and how am I resisting the transformation? Am I willing to release my resistance? Am I called to revisit my why? And that's the question that we ask. What is my why? What is the intent that I am looking for? And another way we may frame this is, what am I willing to recommit to in order to advance in the direction of my vision? Remember, the vision is always pulling us forward, pulling us in the direction of a goal. I like this quote from Florence Scovel Chin in her book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. And she writes, resistance is hell. It places an individual in a state of torment. Now, I don't know about you, but I certainly don't want to experience torment in my life. I've had enough of it up to this point. I'm done with that. And so it's an opportunity for me to look at those areas where I may be in resistance that is causing this internal turmoil, or torment, if you will. Our evolutionary vision statement: we envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought. A world where each and every person discovers their personal power and their ability to create an individual life that works in a world that works for everyone. And that's a lot of words to say. We are here for each other. We're here to support each other. We're here to encourage each other to discover our own personal power in creating a world that works for everyone exactly where they are. And our timeless wisdom statement that we're drawn to this morning is, we believe in the direct revelation of truth. And this is from one of our statements of belief. And just as a quick reminder, direct revelation means that each one, as an individualized expression of this one infinite reality that we call God, that each one has access to the infinite wisdom and intelligence of this ultimate reality. The ultimate reality flows through us, as us, to the degree that we become aware and conscious of its impress. Direct revelation is available to us through our intuition and can be intentionally cultivated through visioning. It's all about our intention. And as a quick reminder, visioning is the practice of cultivating that field of consciousness and illuminating what wants to emerge from within without preconceived ideas of limitations. And this reminds me of the quote by Rumi that is one of my favorites, that out and beyond any ideas of right doing or wrongdoing, there is a field. Meet me there. So this field of consciousness that we're cultivating through the practice of visioning takes us out and beyond any ideas of limitations. Visioning has a specific methodology which can be used individually or in a group. And I want to do another little selfish plug here this morning to join us on Saturday morning for our visioning at 10:30. Usually we go half an hour, 45 minutes. That's where we come together and vision for the highest and best for the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living, knowing that each one of us is an individual expression of this community that is known as the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. So we invite you to join us for that. Now, disclaimer, this coming Saturday is my installation, so we will not have visioning. We invite you to join us here in the sanctuary for my installation. And we'll talk more about that a little later. What we teach in Science of Mind regarding these ideas that have been expressed so far is that allowing life's highest vision of itself to be known in our individualized human awareness opens us to a completely new idea, a new experience, and a direct experience of the mind of the infinite, which is our mind. Having received a direct revelation, the degree to which we embody oneness, the degree to which we embody wholeness, the degree to which we embody God itself as living its life in the form of us, is the degree to which we allow life's vision to be made manifest through us and as us. And several illustrations to expand on this idea. We hear the expression, principle is never bound by precedent. That's one of our favorite taglines, if you will, within Science of Mind. Principle is never bound by precedent. And what this means is that as humans, we tend to slip into probability theory once we have clarity about our vision. And that is, we have this tendency of viewing vision in the context of past events and circumstances, and trying to bring lessons learned forward to assist us in unfolding our vision safely and successfully. This is where the mind is at play. The mind wants to be comfortable with where it is going. And so once we have some clarity about our vision, then the mind goes back into its historical record and tries to bring forward experiences that match the vision. What we are called to do is to let go of attempting to control the outcome of the vision and to be in that place where the vision manifests through us. Our human tendency is to take the line of least resistance, whether it be in our physical endeavors or in the operation of our mind. This tendency is cited as one of the greatest stumbling blocks in our spiritual achievement because it is embedded in dishonesty and fear. The refusal to honestly face an idea, if that idea happens not to please us in the moment, is based in fear. And that fear is a cry that says, I do not like or I do not want to believe this. I don't like it, I don't want to believe it, so I'm going to resist it. Ernest Holmes offers this in the book, It's Up to You. Back of this is fear, that an idea may be introduced into our consciousness, which will uncover to us our own responsibility. And the key here is responsibility, our ability to respond to rather than react to. We respond to the new idea, the new direction that is choosing to emerge from within us. Another illustration, not lifting the anchor of past thoughts and ideas, we experience the pain that pushes us like the winds and currents push an anchored boat. We feel the currents moving us back and forth and swaying us from side to side and spinning us around in circles, and yet we're never moving forward. Vision, on the other hand, pulls us, inviting us to move forward, inviting us to a new place and to a new adventure. And it's a gentle pull. It's a gentle pull. It's not a tow truck climbing up a hill. It's a very gentle pull that emerges deep from within our being. True non-resistance is the surrender of every arrogant attitude of mind to good and to good alone. Those who have made the surrender have found real peace of mind, happiness, and wholeness in the only place that it can be found, which is within themselves. And this is from the August 1993 edition of our Science of Mind magazine. And our next illustration, true transformation renders the previous version unrecognizable. True transformation renders the previous version unrecognizable. Just as something within a caterpillar compels it to attach itself to a twig, to spin in its own cocoon, and then completely release its physical form and caterpillar identity. It must do this in order to realize its butterfly identity. This is the process of transformation. And to make this maybe a little bit more visual for you, think of a caterpillar. Caterpillar that is crawling along and is subject to all types of predators at the ground level. And its point of reference is very low focused. It only sees what's in its immediate area. However, through the process of transformation, the butterfly, using its wings, can elevate itself to a higher and more expanded vision and view of life. And so this is the call then to release the caterpillar vision and form and to emerge into the butterfly vision and form. And so we ask the question, what physical form and caterpillar identity are you willing to release and replace with butterfly identity and form? And Dr. Holmes writes this in Ideas of Power. Now I like to feel that faith is operated upon by principle, so that I won't feel I have to energize energy. Because if I had to energize energy, I wouldn't know where I would get the energy with which to energize energy. This is one of the secrets of Jesus, and it is non-resistance. And so where does all of this take us to? Vision pulls us even closer to God's highest expression of itself as us. Pulled by vision requires faith. Faith is a belief in the substance of things not seen, not guaranteed replica of our mental prototype. The substance is the unformed God stuff out of which everything is made, including each of us. And I offer this to you as a spiritual practice for the next 30 days. In your morning spiritual practice, ask yourself, what do I want to express as me today? Write down the first thought that comes to you and focus on being that all day. And then at the end of the day, journal about the ways God expresses himself as you throughout the day. And then our questions for journaling and reflecting, which I've asked our tech team to drop into the chat, and we'll also post it in the comments section on our Facebook. Where am I probability thinking when I could be in possibility thinking? Where am I in probability thinking when I could be in possibility thinking? Where do I think I will end up if I completely surrender to the vision? And what is the difference between my highest vision and God's highest vision of itself as me? And our affirmation for the week, I commit to the highest vision for my life. I commit to the highest vision for my life. Now I invite us to pray together. And so we turn within to that place where we're in full awareness of the all-prevailing presence of Spirit, this one life, this one source of absolutely all that there is. I know this to be the place where I am one with this creative intelligence, this ultimate reality. And as I know this for myself, I know it for each one that is a part of this live audience this morning, as well as those who are joining us via the forms of technology. Recognizing that we are one center or one church or one organization in multiple locations. This is evidenced by the gift and the use of technology. And so I speak my word this morning, declaring that as each one opens to the recognition of their divine humanity, their individual expression of the divine, that we recognize and remember that love is all there is. And in our vision, we are pulled by love, the love of the eternal and internal, that is expressing as us and through us along each step of the way. Knowing that all life is precious, all life is holy, all life is valued. We believe in a world that works for everyone, that values the life of everyone. And I speak my word of blessing this morning for those who have a prayer request that is held within the heart space, has been released through a written prayer request, spoken to a confidant, spoken to a practitioner, spoken to a minister, spoken to a close friend in whom one places their trust and values the confidentiality. I know that the Spirit of the living one is saying yes to whatever that request is, whether that request is for perfect health, perfect well-being, perfect housing, divine right livelihood, divine resolution to a judicial situation, an expression of gratitude and thanksgiving and joyous celebration for new life that is being birthed, for new opportunities to be the place where God shows up. I know all of this is happening in divine, right, and perfect order. And so I take my hands off of any idea of how it should turn out and just allow God to be God and do what God does in its marvelous and magnificent way. Blessing places where people are gathering in the name of the one, that one that resonates within the deep recesses of their heart space, knowing, as our song said this morning, there's more than one road. There's more than one road to the truth. There's more than one road to the idea of this creative intelligence. And yet we're all walking the road of right living and right thinking and right livelihood and right beingness that resonates with our individual heart space. And this is where our true being is expressed, in the heart space. And so, giving thanks for this and so much more, I release this word, I release this treatment, I release this talk into the activity of love and law, knowing that the universe is responding with a resounding yes. And so I just allow it to be so. And if anything that I have said resonates with anyone in any way, let us affirm it together by saying, and so it is. And so, knowing that we are a prosperous community, I invite you to now share with us in our affirmation of abundance. I recognize the presence of God within as the source of my abundance. Out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I can desire in life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. I release this visible substance as an outer symbol of my inner supply into the physical world. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness. And as always, in deep gratitude for the way that the prosperity consciousness, the high prosperity consciousness of this community is expressed. We invite you to mail in a check to our office, and these are posted on the screen. Or you may donate to our secure website, or you may text to give, and that text number is on the screen for you. And so we say to our virtual audience that has joined us that we love you, we appreciate you, we thank God for you, and we invite you to join us next week as we continue our July series, Pulled by Vision. And the message is, free your mind and the rest will follow. Free your mind and the rest will follow. And we say thank you to our Facebook audience that has joined us. And now we will continue with our